So this is how on all the topics you will be able to go here. See this. See here. Chemical bonding and molecular interaction, structure of amino acids, peptides, enzyme and metabolism, carbohydrates and glycoproteins. So systematically for that particular paper, what all the topics that are there, 35 hours, is systematically recorded and it is available. Live lecture only, it is recorded and made available to the students. See. So a child will not be able to struggle for the resource. So they will be able to, if they cannot understand in one hearing, means any number of time they will be able to go back and forth. See. See, the students are also there. It's a live. Even the board work is captured here. Okay. So this is the facility at the international level the students are provided. See, board work is also there. It's not mere PowerPoint presentation. Chalk and talk is also there. The entire proceedings of the class is recorded and it is, say, uploaded to the LMS. Right? So how do you create content to the LMS? In this module, I'm going to discuss, in order to give value addition to teaching, what type of content you will be able to upload. So without talking the ICD facility, we will not be able to talk about LMS. So very systematically, we need technology. We need technology in terms of network connection. We need technology in terms of hardware. We need technology in terms of software. And of course, the teacher's role over here is every teacher is having his own domain, his experience, his knowledge. Everything is going to count over here. So depending upon their area of specialization, they will be able to use this technology to reach to the students in a better way. So that's all the objective here of adopting ICT in teaching, ICT in learning, ICT in research, ICT in teaching. So technology has disrupted all areas of our life. Almost in every walk of life, we have upgraded. See, from a black and white television, we have upgraded ourselves to a color. Say the cathode ray television, we have upgraded. From cathode ray television, we are coming to the say liquid crystal display televisions we have adopted. So that is how even in our home we have adopted, in our day-to-day life we have adopted the technology. So similarly, the technology has to be adopted in the field of education also. So specifically, most of the teachers, with my observation, who were reluctant to adopt technology, they could readily, whether say they want it or not, they had to switch and adopt technology during the pandemic period, because the teacher has to communicate with the students and the student has to communicate, and in a remote way, in a virtual way, student teacher interaction has to be there. So either we use the various available facilities and we try to do the online learning and connect with the students. So what I mean to say over here is technology has disrupted all areas of our life, and education is no different. Why only in education we have to say we should not adopt technology? Even in education, we will be able to adopt the information communication technology over here. So this clearly, very critically, it was practiced during the pandemic period. More schools are looking towards online learning as a permanent teaching method, along with traditional classroom teaching. But while most of the institutes have used some form of online teaching in the past year, they lack the systematic approach to virtual learning. What is the justification for LMS? The whatever teaching and learning process that has to happen, it has to happen in a highly organized and systematic way. So critically, what is the need of incorporation of technology in education is today's classrooms are full of young minds who are technologically conscious. So right from first standard itself, we are seeing that they're all tech savvy and they are aware about the technology over here. So by using a combination of audiovisual learning resources alongside the traditional backboard, institutes can facilitate better learning opportunities for students. So we have to see who are the target audience, what is their tech savvy level. So accordingly, one has to customize the delivery of the content to the students. So for these children, electronic devices have become a way of life. By using ICT in classrooms, children can be eased into education using tools that they are already familiar with. So what the researchers are going to say, what they are going to, why they advocate, why they recommend the use of ICT in education. So these are the findings that the research group has identified. So the young minds, the young students, we are having at different levels, whether it is at a undergraduate level or at a PUC level or at a high school or at a middle school level, almost irrespective of the age group, today's children are highly attracted towards the use of electronic devices. So then on the other hand, one more goal is there. Government of India is bent upon the slogan education for everyone. Every individual, every child that is born in any country, if we have to improve their life, if we have empower them, means they must have skill and they should be educated. So free education for all, and then education is the key to success. So as teachers, we are also stakeholders of this particular process. So by using the ICT provides the flexibility and availability of learning materials to all students. So this is, they don't have to search. Unlike our days where when we were postgraduate students, physically we have to go to the library and say one or two copies of a particular book used to be there. Sometimes it was not available, and even if we were to get that particular book, the scheduled chapters that we want would have been torn and the pages taken away. So all these drawbacks we have seen, and today if a PDF file is available online from the institution library or a e-book is available, any number of students will be able to log in and they will be able to access it. So that is why the ICT provides the flexibility and availability of learning material to all students. So while all resources are available in classrooms, students can also access them outside the schools. So even after their school hours, they will be able to access it. So this especially benefits students who are slow learners or having learning disabilities. We cannot, say classroom, in the classroom, the students will be of heterogeneous learning capability. Some of them are fast learners, some of them are slow learners. For the slow learners, again, one or two times the same thing has to be repeated. So this is how such students can go over the lesson as many times as they need and understand their subjects thoroughly. So this is an added advantage. So when we are going to specifically record our lectures and when it is available to the students, then what is going to happen if some part they are not clear, means always they will be able to go back or view the same video again and again, and then they will be able to understand. So what is the justification or preamble to the ICT in education is, since the youth constitute more than 67% of the Indian population, it is mandatory to design curriculum that aids skill development of youth along with providing quality basic education. The youth has to be empowered with skilled education. Some skill should be there. For example, after doing BCom, he has to get into some niche. Or after doing medical, he should be able to get in somewhere. After doing BE, depending upon his specialization, they have to get into some domain. They have that should the whatever college learning or higher level education learning that they have done, it should give them the skill, and they should fit into one or the other job in the society. So the present government also emphasizes on skill development and the use of ICT for empowering the youth. So in this direction, our Government of India, MHRD, is making a lot of effort. So thereby, we will be able to, if the remotest of the remote students has to be, uh, say, specifically addressed, and learning, they have to be made inclusive, means the easiest way in which we will be able to reach more and more students is by the e-learning method. So this is a learning system based on formalized teaching, but with the help of electronic resources, we are going to reach to the student. That is why it is called as the e-learning. So while teaching can be based in and out of the classroom, the use of computers and the internet forms the major component of e-learning. So they have to be connected by one device or the other. They have to be connected to the network, and thereby the e-learning can also be termed as a network-enabled transfer of skills and knowledge. And the delivery of education is made to a large number of recipients at the same or different times. Earlier, it was not accepted wholeheartedly. So just now, when you were asking a question, you said that most of the teachers are not ready to accept. Yes, there will be mental, say, block will be there in order to accept any technology in our professional level and personal level. But I feel with the advancement of technology in every field, in every area, we are seeing the adoption of information technology. Why not in the field of education also? So wholeheartedly, we have to adopt this technology. And as it was assumed that this system lacked the human element required in the learning. So yes, I fully agree with you. A face-to-face physical interaction of a student and teacher is any day better. But also that is why I said it is a hybrid model can be arrived at, wherein even the say online learning modules are also available to the student along with the regular classroom learning. So this is how we are going to see the scenario in schools and colleges. So this is in a medical college specifically. They are seeing a human body in a VR, and also here a student is using a VR over here, and then they are seeing the things, and the small children of kindergarten or first standard or second standard, effectively they are using the tablets over here. So this is how the tech savviness or the readiness of the students to technology is there. So on the other hand, we should also say accommodate the rapid progress of technology and the advancement of learning systems. So specifically, we have to accept the reality over here, and where the large number of masses are drawn towards the development or rapid progress that has happened in the IT sector. So similarly, the introduction of computer was the basis of the revolution. With the passage of time, as we get hooked to smartphones, tablets, etc. So these devices now have an important place in the classroom for learning. So the physical books are getting slowly converted into the electronic version of the books. That is what you are going to call it as the e-books. In tablet, we will be able to load, or we will be able to download the PDF files, or in optical disc or pen drives. So in various electronic versions of the books we are getting in the market today, and also we can download from some of the open sources. So knowledge can also be shared via internet, and which is accessible 24/7 anywhere, anytime across the globe. So that's the whole idea over here. So specifically, in some of the earlier sessions, some of the teachers were little anxious and they asked me a question. So for that, I have given the answer in this session. Is e-learning is the future of education? E-learning has transformed education in both schools, businesses, and in higher learning, making it easier for students and employees to learn at their own pace. So this is most important. That is why I said some of them are able to understand. One time, if you are going to teach them, they are able to understand. Some of them will be moderate learners, some of them will be poor learners, some of them will be slow learners. So we have to address all the students, specifically in all cross section of students we have to address. So by providing the e-content and e-learning module to them, what is going to happen? They will be able to learn at their own pace, in their own speed. They will be able to learn and in an environment that suits them. Not necessary that they have to attend a physical school always and get a degree. Wherever they are there, or if they are for their livelihood, if they are employed, daytime they will be able to work, and again nighttime or evening they will be able to access to the e-content and they will be able to pursue the education further. So when it comes to the future of education, it is clear that e-learning will play a huge role in the delivery of the learning materials. And it is cost effective, time effective, and very accurately and systematically the modules can be developed and it can be delivered. So this is the advantage. And also almost if you are going to say take the global statistics of e-learning, from one year to another year the rise of e-learning is there. So e-learning is specifically permeating business, schools, colleges as a means of providing education in a more flexible way. So earlier, for example, you are going to see corporate companies, why they are coming to develop the LMS for the students. Right from first standard till the engineering level, they are planning to develop the curriculum, right? So you can see the business approach towards education over here. And then look at the education sector. For example, 53% of university teaching. This was specifically, I had taken the statistics of the say USA and the European countries and other countries. I have taken from one paper, research paper. I have taken the statistics. Probably in our country, the percentage might be slightly less. So 53% of university teaching has moved online. So it's no wonder that 88% of people believe that online learning will be a part of school and university education going forward. And when feedback was taken by, and the same was reflected in the paper, most of the students, they say that they are very comfortable with the e-learning material. So specifically, I would like to emphasize over here what was the scenario during the COVID, the pandemic period. So you will be able to see over here that 98% of the organization used virtual learning method. The switch to e-learning is especially apparent when you look at the budget of training employees. 59% of the talent developers are spending more on online learning, while 25% are spending less on instructor-led training. So even in the corporate sector, if you have to go when a batch of new engineering students are hired by a software company, they have to be onboarded. So they have to be, according to the project that is there in the software company, they have to be trained. So instead of calling an expert from any part of the world and then giving the meeting with the expenditure and all that, wherever he is there, if he is there in US, he will be able to virtually address and train the engineers who are recently hired in that company in India, so that the onboarding and especially the corporate companies, they found it is very easy to interact. Or on the other hand, now you know the work from home culture. So more productivity is there remotely, wherever they are there, they are able to interact, and then the productivity is there, and also training can be arranged in a systematic way in a virtual mode. So how you are undergoing the earlier, you had to come to Mysore, you had to stay in the academic staff college, and then you have to undergo the training. Now you are there in your comfortable uh, place or workplace or home, and then from there only you are able to participate in the program. So this is very clearly implemented over here. So the most important benefit of the e-learning module is flexibility, more engaging classes, an opportunity to develop new skills, and this is going global. It is not just one country scenario. It is accepted globally, and e-learning also makes the bond between student and teachers tighter. Teachers become more concentrated on students, check their homework individually, and have extra classes with them. So whoever is unable to perform, they will be able to. This is from a paper I have taken, so that is why I have not changed the words over here for higher education. So whatever market survey the company had done and the performance of the students is evaluated, they could do very well with the e-learning modules. So what are the benefits of e-learning? Accommodates everyone's need. Lectures can be taken multiple number of times. You will be able to see the same video. Quick delivery of lessons. Scalability is there. And then consistency. And for consistency, I will be also able to add quality, because the teacher meticulously can plan that particular session, and very say accurate information can be delivered by the teacher, and reduced cost, and also it is environment friendly. So this way, unnecessary traveling, unnecessary expenditures can be specifically avoided by the student. And what are every system are advantages and disadvantages, are the faces of the same coin. Every procedure, every method has got its own advantages, and at the same time it has also got disadvantages. So without addressing the disadvantages, we simply cannot say that the system is good, this system is good, or e-learning has done wonders. No, every system has got advantage, every system equally has got its disadvantages. So specifically, what are the advantages? It is more flexible. What is the disadvantage? Absolutely, there is no control over the student, because they are there in different, whether they are listening or not listening, and whether they have understood or not. At least in a physical classroom, we will be able to see that whether he is listening completely and what is his capacity. So that way we will be able to interact with the students and know the pulse. But here in the say online mode, what is going to happen? Though it is flexible, it lacks control over the students, and it is mobile. So specifically, wherever they are there, in whatever device, whatever time, whatever convenient to them, they will be able to listen to the lectures. So that is whether unless a student is highly motivated to learn, the learning approach has to be there. If the learning approach is not there by the student, because he himself has to make up his mind to listen to the lectures, and he has to put in equal amount of effort from his side. If that is not there, then it will not be a learning approach. So then coming to the another is physically a student need not be repositioned or relocated, no travel. And then again lowers the cost, and also it can be specifically tailor-made to the requirement of that particular subject or to the student. And then technological possibilities are also available over here. And then it can be globally, uh, whether if the institution allows the content to be enabled globally, it can be enabled globally. Any student from any part of the world will be able to enroll to that course. For example, we are seeing Coursera and the Linda and other, most of the Georgia Tech and the Stanford, Harvard, they're all having the online global programs. So from any part of the country, student will be able to enroll for the MS program or the BS program. And similarly, in our country, the IITs, especially the data mining and data analytics program, or Manipal University from Jaipur, they are offering the MBA program. Nearly thousands of students across the country and across the globe, they will be able to enroll, and they will be able to say get the degree. So but on the other hand, what is the say specifically disadvantage over here is lack of control, and there should be 100% say focus by the student side. It has to be a learning approach. Then it is isolated learning. Just like you are going to sit in your room and you are going to log into the laptop, there won't be any human to human interaction. The joy of interacting with the classmates, the joy of moving around with the classmates and friendship, that is entirely a different what we have enjoyed. But that will not be there. A student will be totally isolated over here, and technology issues will be there. So sometimes power may not be there, or network might be down. So all these technical glitches will be there, and a computer competency level. A student should be, say specifically, a computer literate. That means he should know how to operate the computer, how to open the modules and the file formats, how to use them, how to open the files, in which software he has to open. So all this computer literacy should be there in the student. So these are the disadvantages that we are going to see here. So major requirement for the online classes is the information technology and the internet are the two major drivers of research, innovation, growth, and whatever social change we are seeing today, it is because of the information technology. The growth of internet has brought many changes in all walks of life, including education. In banking sector, we have seen, and in the marketing sector, we are seeing Amazon, Flipkart. So many e-commerce sites are available where we are doing the online shopping. So even if not late, slowly, specifically in the education sector also, it is making an impact. So what exactly are the components you are able to see over here? You can use images, you can use the text over here, and you can use the audio files also in your presentation. You can also use the video files, or you can use the cartoons, and also the interactive exercises you will be able to provide them, graphics you will be able to use, and assessment. So these are the components that are going to very critically, and e-learning eventuates in many forums at times is a blend of the following. It can be completely online, or it can be a mixed learning. A blend of online and offline classes can be mixed, and it can be synchronous. Synchronous is the communication between the provider and the receiver happen directly. Just like how we are having this session, directly you will be able to. So the same time the teacher also should log in, and the student also should log in to a common video conferencing software. And asynchronous. Asynchronous means the information passed through a LMS or by say various other platforms, we will be able to send the information. So on the self-study. Self-study is here the teacher-student contact will not be there. The student is going to get the relevant material that is required for him, and he has to do the self-study of the material that is given to him. Or on the other hand, even just like MIT have done the web-based learning, or on the one more method is where the student is having problem with internet and networking problem is there. So at the time for those students, the content can be given in the form of a CD. Then the institutions should make arrangement for a student to have access to the computer in order to open the CD. And also you can use the audio and visuals. Radio also can be used. So say the KSOU and our Mysore University and other online and distance education, they have their own FM channels. So by the specifically by the FM channels also, one will be able to so meet the needs of the students and connect with the students. And similarly, the Doordarshan, as I said in the last session, it has made a wonderful effort. Even the remotest of the remotest student will be able to say get access to the best of teaching that is going to happen. Similarly, we are also going to see during the SSLC exam and the PUC exam, special coaching sessions will be aired by the Doordarshan, and also some of the newspapers, they are also going to print the questions and the question papers for the SSLC and the PUC students. So this way, the learning can be delivered in different media. So that is why it is called as multimedia. Multimedia means you can incorporate the black and white text, you can incorporate graphics, you can incorporate videos also, you will be able to use animation, you will be able to use, and also the audio recording can be done, and you can in what way you are going to deliver the content to the students is left to you. If a teacher is having his own website or web page, he will be able to upload all his content to website. Or on the other hand, nowadays what the students are very effectively using is the YouTube. So in the YouTube, almost on all topics, in all dimensions, we are going to get the material over there. So best of the teachers. But on the other hand, what is going to happen if a valid qualified teacher developing a content for a particular course will be completely different from that of a, say, a blogger or any other person developing the content. So thereby the role of a teacher is of highest importance here in the e-learning. E-learning modules has to be developed by say professional and qualified teachers. If they are going to develop the e-content, then the quality of the e-content will be good, and that can be validated by a third party, and ideas of improvement can be suggested, and thereby that content, if it is delivered to the student, it will be of very good quality. So that is what I mean to say over here. So specifically, you will be able to see here that uh, apply e-learning to all levels of schooling till higher education level and ensure students grasp the lessons adequately. So whatever module, offline, online, so whatever dimension that we are going to create, or whatever media that we are going to incorporate, ultimately is the student should be able to absorb the content that is delivered to them. So that's the whole idea over here. So a virtual classroom duplicates capability found in a real classroom. Nothing should be artificial. Whatever activity that you are doing in a real-time classroom, the same activity you are using a computer and network, you will be able to do it. So specifically, most of the companies over LMS, they are also going to provide one more type of software called as the virtual classroom software. So in a single package, it will be delivered, and different types of technology can be used as per the requirement of the course. So audio conferencing can be implemented, computer connected to the internet. Common name for this kind of implementation is the IP audio conferencing or voice over IP. We will be able to develop. And then phone conferences, people dial to the same number to participate in an audio conference. Then video conferencing also can be done by using Zoom or Google or any other software. So computers connected to the internet, the computers need the digital camera if we have to do a video conferencing. Then special video conferencing devices that connect over the internet or over the phone lines. So highly dedicated softwares like Zoom or Google Meet can be used over here. So this is how we will be able to use different technology and different methodology as per the requirement, as per the facilities that are there with the students. We have to first and foremost, we have to identify that if I deliver a video lecture, whether my students are able to log in to that video lecture, or whether a student is having a hardware facility to log into that particular video meeting, video conference. So this way we have to ensure that the student is having that particular facility, and then only we have to decide in which method we are going to deliver. So if a student is not having any facility, means then the ultimate facility that we will be able to provide is, if it is accessible to a computer, then it can be provided in a CD-ROM. So if a student is not having any facility at all to open the CD, means what's the point in delivering the content in CD? If the student is not having a facility of smartphone, means How will he open the LMS app? How is he going to go through the files that you have delivered over there, right? So e-learning, online delivery of information and learning resources, interactive communication, education and training will be feasible, will be possible only if the student is having a specific device to connect to it. So that is where before launching the project, what we have to do is we have to do a survey. We have to very critically find out whether our target audience is having access to that facility, or otherwise if they are not having that facility means there is no point. We have to, if possible, we have to give them a tablet. So preloaded content, all the course material, very at a nominal level, the tablets are available. So in that, in a chip, we will be able to record all the content, and then we will be able to give the tablet to the student. So this is again, this cannot be worked out at the teacher level, at the institution level, at the government level. It has to be worked out. So synchronous e-learning, let teachers conduct classes over the internet. So what is the synchronous and asynchronous learning is? In synchronous learning, whatever activity face-to-face with the student you are doing in the classroom, the same thing you are doing uh, in the virtual environment using the internet. So synchronous technologies also allow people to interact with peers and experts. So they will be able to, then and there only the students will be able to raise their doubt and interact with the teachers to solve their confusion. So e-content augments the learning experience by deploying various media. We can use different type of media, and also when we are using the media, we have to be careful who are the target audience. So if it is a very young children, say primary school children, means we have to use bright colors over there, a lot of graphics we have to use, and then attention seeking music we will be able to add over there. And depending upon the age class, we have to specifically prepare select the media and visualization. So this is how sometimes we may also need the expert support who have worked in that particular discipline for several years. Then we will be able to take the support to them so that the content is by the content and by the color, by the music, the child will be attracted to see that again and again, right? So in advertisements, you are going to see, no, they are going to use whatever is the product color, the same color of say garment, the model is also will be wearing, and that is how you are going to, in a very professional way, the color combination has to be made, and it should be attractive to that particular age class. So higher you go at the high school level, or at the +2 level, or in higher education, undergraduation level, or at the MSc level, then all these parameters can be cut down, can be reduced. Graphics can be used where it is going to say enforce the concept that you are talking. And then on the other hand, what is going to happen? More concentration can be given on the technical aspects that we are presenting over there, quality of the content that we are delivering over there. So that is why we have to see who are the target audience, whether they are rural audience or urban audience, or what is the capacity of the audience. Then accordingly, the quality of the content and the various media like graphics, animation, video, audio, all these things can be in a very cautious way, not to overshadow. One should not overshadow the other. The loud music should not overshadow some other thing, or a bright color should not overshadow some other thing. So that is why when we are using the media, different media, we have to be little careful. So specifically, electronic content is also called, in some of the textbooks, they are also going to call it as a digital content. So it is nothing but the digital content is nothing but a electronic content, where from computer to computer transfer should be there, computer to any device transfer should be there, and so that easily across the internet one should be able to access it. So specifically, the what are the magic bullets that we are going to see in today's education is the incorporation of the information communication technology. You can make it as a computer-based learning, or otherwise you will be able to develop a website and say host the web pages and the institutional web pages. They can contain, have the link to the lectures, or it can be completely online learning or distance learning. Distance learning, here what is going to happen? You are going to give the course material in the form of books or in the form of pre-recorded tablets. So in whatever way, very minimum teacher-student interaction will be there in distance learning. So there are specifically four running concepts. These are the four different methods that we are hearing around the globe today. So they advocate globalization of education, and what is the motto of the e-learning is educate from anywhere, anytime, and in any mode. So what is the slogan of e-learning is educate from any part of the world. You be in any part of the world, still you will be able to register for an online program in Harvard University. So that is why anywhere, anytime, and in any mode. So this is the goal of e-learning. So what are the techniques that you will be able to use? The most important way where we will be able to directly, in a synchronous way, we will be able to connect to the students is in some of the softwares you are going to get in LMS softwares, you are going to get a whiteboard. So just like how you are writing in the blackboard, similarly on the whiteboard you will be able to write using a say digital pen, and very similar to your blackboard teaching, you will be able to work here. So you can share the whiteboard, let the group of people communicate by typing, comment, drawing, highlighting, and pointing. And share a whiteboard is a common feature within virtual classroom. Whatever the LMS softwares that they are available today in the market, all of them they are going to have, probably most of them they are having the whiteboard facility. Just like how a teacher in a physical classroom is going to write on a blackboard, similarly here on the whiteboard using the computer or say touch screen is there, means using the say the pen, say Apple tab has got a pen, so different tabs has got pen. So that one will be able to use, and then they will be able to directly write on it, or using the mouse and other software facilities that are available there itself, we can pick a pencil, eraser, and we will be able to write on the blackboard. So what are the types of files that you will be able to use? So the very first file format that we are going to use is the text file. So here, the text file is the most important file that we are going to use for academic teaching. Then along with, you will be able to add the visual addition, value addition you can add by adding images and then graphics. So this is again text with wherever appropriate drawings are required, or say the photographed images are required, that we will be able to incorporate over here. So further you will be able to improve upon, you can add the audio also to this. You can record your narration and you will be able to give it. And then on the other hand, you will be able to record the video of your lecture, and then you will be able to provide. And some of the scientific simulations we will be able to create in animation, and those simulations also can be added. So that is going to add, for example, if you have seen the Byju's education modules, they are having all these images, their graphic is there, text is there, audio, video, and simulations are there. And then animation is going to play a very crucial role, where how much ever half an hour what we have to explain to them, if a scientifically created animation is there explaining that concept, the student will be able to understand it very quickly. Then you have the interactive sessions, a quiz type can be given. So there can be or a teacher student interactive sessions can be planned over there. So this way, a teacher student interactive session, or the questions can be interactive. So that also, that way also interactiveness can be planned. Then on the other hand, in order to avoid the other, you will be able to, in the text format, you can use the rich internet application, and then the games can be added over there. And when it comes to higher education, I have to incorporate e-books, e-journals, and then appropriate databases in that particular topic, and then the PowerPoint presentations and other type of presentations can be added over here. And also the immersive content is you will be able to add the AR and VR here. So augmented reality and virtual reality concepts can be added to our presentation. And we will be able to create an energized book. Energized book means the student will feel very happy and comfortable to work or open the e-books and see. So a lot of interactiveness will be there in that. The student will not be bored only by the black and white text. Along with black and white, if you are going to add all the elements that I have shown over here, then the presentation will be a very good enriched or energized presentation it will become. So these are the different file formats that we have to add for the development of the content. When we are creating a content development, so very clearly we must have a storyboard, plan of action should be there, and very systematically we have to do the R&D on the content that we are going to incorporate. A blueprint of the plan should be there. So where images has to come, where audio has to come, where video has to come. So all this has to be done in a highly professional way. So put together, it is going to be called as the e-content. So nearly around these many formats are there. So you can, in earlier times, it was called as multimedia presentation. Now it is not called as multimedia presentation. It is called as a digital presentation or a e-content. So e-content specifically, it should be available digitally with a learner access or interacts with so as to achieve related learning outcomes. E-content is becoming popular because it allows flexibility in terms of time, place, pace of learning, the resource-rich environment. So you have to keep in mind, whatever delivery that you are going to do, whatever presentation that you are going to do, it has to be a resource-rich environment is necessary for teaching and learning to be effective. Lot of R&D a teacher has to do, and very accurate information they have to collect and they have to compile, so that the student will be really benefited after going through that particular module. So there are certain guidelines for e-content development. So this was guide. This direction was was given to us when we had the learning management system project with us. So at the time we had very clear directions for the development of the course content. So a very robust LMS has to be designed to offer flexible solutions targeting all types of learners. You cannot aim at only one category of learner. You have to keep in mind the slow, fast, medium. So all possible learners we have to keep in mind, and then we have to say address to the cross section of the students. So the whole goal over here is to increase productivity and to support the continuing skill development. So the skill of the student, the knowledge of the student, it has to increase. The ultimate goal of say delivering a lecture is we should make the student knowledgeable, and he should be able to understand the concept that is given over here. So through different hubs, LMS integrates learning, practicing, reporting, and social knowledge sharing. When an LMS is in place, student can browse through the training courses, choose and enroll in different learning programs based on their roles, the whatever main paper that they have taken, main elective they have taken. So accordingly, they will be able to take certain other papers that are available, and that should facilitate them in developing more skill in that particular area. So this is the direction given by UGC. So first and foremost is the process of developing the e-content. Every teacher has to do the analysis. Analysis is very specifically on what topic I have to record my video today, on what topic I have to deliver the content today. So that has to be very clearly say it has to be converted into small modules, and it has to be say specifically content should be collected, R&D has to be done in that area, and then here you have to make a very clear storyboard over here. How do you go about it? So, and then design completely whatever blueprint that you had made here with the analysis, and see who are your target audience and what is their background, and accordingly you have to design your course. Content has to be delivered over here. If your target audience and the subject that you are teaching is having a gap, means at that time you have to have a bridge module here. You have to have you have to bring the students to that platform. So that is why the UGC is very critically, they have given the direction as analysis here: design, develop, and implement. So these are the four parameters one specifically has to make use, and this is available from the specifically from the university UGC website. If you go, you are going to get the guidelines for the development of the e-content. Okay, so then if you are going to come to the content creation, now I am going to go to the content creation directly. There are certain rigid steps that all e-learning development process must undergo, as I have shown over here. So analysis, and you have a blueprint, and then design it, and then develop it. So whatever information you have collected over here, you put it into practice. And then at every level, I have given an arrow to evaluate over here. You have to see if there is any scope for improvement, if there is any scope for, say, modification. So that you have to very clearly see at every level and evaluate and modify over here. And then finally, when all these, say, three cycles are completed, then only you will be able to go for the implementation. So then again, after successfully completing one round of delivery, take a student feedback. So if students are going to sincerely comment about some module which is not easily understandable, means work upon it, and for the next cycle improve that module. So this is how evaluate and implement. Analysis, evaluate and reanalyze. Then come to design. Design again, evaluate and specifically improve the design. After these two steps, you will be able to come to the development, content development. You can come, and then once the content is ready and 100% verified, then you will be able to implement. You can release it for the students to use. So not before the evaluation, you should not release it for the student use. So this is a very systematic step that one has to follow. So here I have given the effort made by the MHRD. Now we are having a national education policy is also there. The National Policy on Information and Communication Technology in School Education. This was advocated by the government, Ministry of Human Resource Development, in way back in 2012 itself. They had come out with certain guidelines. So Government of India further emphasizes on its mission statement to devise, catalyze, support and sustain ICT and ICT enabled activities and process in order to improve access, quality and efficiency in the school system. So the same way back in 2012 itself, they had made a blueprint how to improve the quality of teaching and the quality of learning in the schools. So from that document itself, I have taken this para. What is the stand of the Government of India on ICT in education? So specifically, as I said, the content creation is not an easy task. So it has to be very systematically, we have to do it. So there are varying factors to be included in the process, such as you have to take into consideration the quality of the student, the background of the students, content, amount, subject, and the topic on which you are handling to the students, and knowledge, goals, and strategies. Before creating any learning content, the authors who would be an experienced teacher in charge of providing the training session has to keep in mind the following. So these are the from the UGC provided document, whatever guidelines they had given us. The same thing I have reproduced over here. So care to be taken on the importance of choosing colors, fonts, media, and interactions carefully to ensure that the learner is engaged but not overwhelmed. So if you are going to use too much of loud music, loud color means he is not going to see your text at all. He is going to see only the graphics that you have used over there. So that is why a fine balance has to be maintained between color, font, media, and the interactions that are designed over there, so that the student should not be diverted. There should not be any overwhelmed or diversion. So you will be able to substitute it. The student mind should not be diverted. He should not be drawn only towards the color. Okay. So an important point specifically is to highlight the importance of keeping content relevant and up to date. So specifically, the content that we are going to deliver on a particular topic, it should be relevant. No irrelevant things should not be there in our presentation. And the latest technology, latest say aspects that are added to that particular subject, we have to incorporate to ensure learners can clearly determine the objective and value of your content. So this is the guideline very critically given, and the e-content design development depends upon the nature of the content and its target learners. So who are your target audience? So based on the target audience, you have to very critically frame. So and the importance of selecting the most appropriate media. So this is also the teacher has to have a critical eye on the appropriate media which communicates your message simply but effectively. So seeing the age and on which topic you are preparing the e-content, so you have to see what will be the media to deliver the content. But ultimately, whatever you are going to select, it should communicate the teacher's effort or message in a very simple way, but it should reach the target audience very, very effectively. Whether whether you add an image, audio, or video to help to emphasize or reinforce the point can impact how the learner experiences your content. So this point has to be taken. Nothing should be overdone. There should be a fine balance between the graphics that you are going to use, between the audio, video, color, text. They all should work in such a way that it is going to very critically communicate your message simply but effective. So this is the point that almost all e-content developers, they have to keep in mind. So even in the design of PowerPoint slides, so PowerPoint slides we are using very routinely for our seminars and conferences and other things. So even the design of PowerPoint slide, choose the screen-friendly font, and considering the effectiveness of animation and slide transition effects can impart greatly on how the learner will interact with the content. So again, whatever information and slide transition, slide color, slide background color, all those things, it should only relate to communicate your message simply but effective. So there should not be too many animations, too many slide transition methods. They are only going to divert the attention of the student. But whatever effort you have put in terms of academic content that you have put over there, that should not go unnoticed. The academic content should be of highest importance. Supporting that, you have to use the media here. So here I was talking about the guideline that is given by the UGC over here. So for that, in the same document, all these are from the same document I have taken. So here the analysis. What do you mean by analysis? So other things you will be able to understand even if you can log on to the UGC web page, home page. From there also you are going to get the same information. The most important guideline to follow when conceiving any piece of content or sequence packages, so never lose sight of the final training destination of the students. So this is the word in the document it is given. So whatever you are going to do, whatever way you are going to deliver, is the final training destination should not be lost by the teacher. They should not ignore the final training destination over here. So what is the meaning of analysis is it is usually the first step when it comes to e-learning development process. So at this stage, you should be able to analyze the learning content, profile of the people you are targeting, and the objective of the learning. Once you take up the course, pay attention to the kind of tasks that are meant to be accomplished. Based on that information, a proper instructional strategy is created to be able to come up with excellent way of presenting the content. So this is the guideline the UGC has given to the teachers. So when we are developing a MOOC or any other course, we have to strictly adhere to the guidelines that are given over here. So you should not go out of focus. So for what purpose you are training, what is the objective of this particular course or a topic that you are delivering. So that has to be kept in mind. Supporting to that, you can add any type of media over there. So issues to be considered, consider your audience, who are your learners, how comfortable are they working with computers, are they techies or first time users? Reason this will affect the level of interactivity you incorporate in the teaching plan. So why you have to do this analysis? So what are the issues that you have to consider? Who are your target audience? Who are the learners? What is their age group and what is their background and what is their say knowledge level in that particular area? So how comfortable they are working with the computers? Are they first time users or are they really techies? Are they techies or first time users? So then reason is if you are going to add two sophisticated modules over there and which requires little amount of computer using experience, then again it will not be useful to the student. So these are some of the points that we have to make in keep in mind while developing. So the most important aspect of e-learning development is intervention that is specifically defining the right learning objective. You have to scale on the right type of learning objective. An ineffective learning objective will result in an unsuccessful training module despite all the subsequent hard work and time put forth by the teacher. The teacher, in order to develop any content, really so if it is not going to reach the student effectively and the student is not benefited by this means, then all the teacher's effort that is put, hard work put by the teacher will go down the drain. So that is why care should be taken that the most important aspect of e-learning development is defining the right learning objective. So the learning objective should be highly competent enough and that should not go out of focus. So with this I conclude. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can interact with me. Any question?
No, ma'am. It's very clearly explained, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I see 1 minute. So many chats are there. Thank you then. If no questions are there means, thank you so much.
1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Behalf of UGC-HRDC, I would like to thank you, ma'am. It's a wonderful session. I think my all the participants get fruitful session for your motivational speech and PPT, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.